Hello and welcome back to the English Hour. I'm Sophia, your host. And today we're starting a brand new episode with a topic that touches all of us: friendships. And joining me again is our wonderful friend Jacob. Hi, Jacob.
Hey Sophia, hey everyone, I'm so happy to be back. Friendships now, that's a topic close to my heart.
Same here. Friendships make life richer, don't they? Whether it's someone you've known since childhood or someone you met recently who just gets you, they all add something special to our journey.
That's so true. I think friendships are the family we choose. They give us support, laughter, and sometimes the honesty we need, but don't always want to hear.
Absolutely. And sometimes, even a short conversation with a friend can turn a bad day around. What do you think makes a friendship strong, Jacob?
Trust, for sure, and being there for each other during both the good times and the tough ones. A real friend doesn't just celebrate your wins, they stand by you when you fall.
Yes. That kind of support is rare and precious. Do you have a story where a friend really showed up for you when you needed it?
I do. A few years ago, I was going through a rough patch. I wasn't talking much to anyone, but one of my closest friends noticed and showed up at my door with food and said, "You don't have to talk. I'll just sit with you." That moment meant the world to me.
Wow, that gave me chills. Sometimes the smallest gesture becomes the biggest comfort. It's not always about words, it's about presence.
Exactly. Just knowing someone cares makes all the difference.
I think today's episode is a gentle reminder for all of us to check in on our friends, be kind, and hold on to those connections. Life gets busy, but friendships need time and love to grow.
Beautifully said, Sophia. And for anyone listening, maybe today's the perfect day to message a friend and tell them how much they mean to you.
Yes, spread the warmth. That's what the English Hour is all about: growing together, not just in language, but in life too.
Couldn't agree more.
Thank you for joining us again, Jacob. And thank you to our amazing listeners. Until next time, keep smiling, keep connecting. And of course, keep practicing your English with us right here on the English Hour.
Thanks for having me again, Sophia. These conversations always remind me how important it is to pause and reflect on the simple but meaningful parts of life.
That's the goal, isn't it? Sometimes we rush through our days and forget to appreciate the people who make our lives brighter. Speaking of that, how do you keep your friendship strong when life gets busy?
I try to stay intentional. Even if I can't meet someone in person, I send a quick message, a funny meme, or just check in with a simple "thinking of you." Small things matter.
That's such a lovely way to stay connected. I think sometimes we assume friendships will take care of themselves, but like anything valuable, they need care and attention.
Exactly. And the more we invest in them, the more they grow. Some of my closest friendships actually became stronger after we went through tough times together.
That's real friendship, being there not just when it's fun and easy, but also when it's messy and hard. It reminds me of that quote. A friend is someone who knows the song in your heart and can sing it back to you when you've forgotten the words.
That's beautiful, Sophia, and so true. A good friend doesn't just hear your words, they understand your silence.
I hope today's episode encourages everyone listening to treasure the friendships they have, and maybe even reach out to someone they haven't spoken to in a while.
Yes, and remember, it's never too late to rebuild a connection or start a new one. Every friendship begins with a simple hello.
On that lovely note, we'll wrap up this episode of the English Hour. Thank you for being with us today. We hope this conversation brings a little warmth to your day and a reminder of the power of true friendship.
Thanks again for having me, Sophia. And to everyone out there, stay kind, stay connected.
Don't forget to follow, share, and join us again next time for another Heart to Heart. Until then, take care and keep learning with love. Before we go, Jacob, I have one last question. What's one lesson you've learned from friendship that's stayed with you over the years?
That's a good one. I'd say I've learned that friendship isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. You don't always have to have the right words or grand gestures. Just showing up, being honest, and listening, that's what truly matters.
I love that. presence over perfection. That's something we can all remember, not just in friendships, but in every relationship.
Exactly. And once you understand that, friendships become less about expectations and more about appreciation.
Beautifully said, Jacob. This episode has been such a heartwarming one. It reminds us that language isn't just about grammar and vocabulary, it's also about connection. That's why we share these real, life conversations on the English Hour, to help people learn naturally, through stories that touch the heart.
I couldn't agree more, Sophia. And I hope our listeners not only picked up new expressions today, but also felt inspired to be better friends and maybe better to themselves, too.
What a lovely thought to end with. All right, everyone, thank you once again for being with us. Whether you're listening on your morning walk, during lunch, or right before bed, we're grateful to be part of your day.
Take care, friends. And remember, every good conversation starts with a little kindness.
We'll be back soon with another episode. Until then, keep your hearts open and your English growing. Bye for now. Before we wrap up completely, Jacob, let's give our listeners a small challenge to help them reflect on today's topic. How about we ask them to think of one friend they haven't spoken to in a while and reach out with a simple message?
That's a great idea, Sophia. Let's encourage them to send a message, share a memory, or even just say hello. You never know. It might brighten both their day and their friend's day.
Exactly. Sometimes the smallest act of kindness can create the biggest ripple. And who knows? You might rekindle a friendship you thought had faded. Plus, it's a fun way to practice English, too.
Yes, a perfect combination. And remember, even if you're just learning English, those simple words can mean so much. It's all about communication, not perfection.
Well said. So, listeners, your challenge for today is simple: reach out to one friend you haven't spoken to in a while and send them a message in English or in any language that feels right for you.
We believe in you, and we hope that little act can bring some joy and connection to your life.
Thank you again, Jacob, for joining me today. It's been such a rewarding conversation.
It's always a pleasure, Sophia. I look forward to our next chat.
And thank you, listeners, for tuning into the English Hour. We'll be back soon with more meaningful discussions to help you learn and grow. Until next time, take care and keep learning.
Bye for now, everyone. Stay connected and keep shining.
Take care. Before we go, I want to add one final thought. Friendships, just like any good conversation, require effort, patience, and understanding. The more you put into them, the more you get out of them. So, don't be afraid to invest time and energy in your connections, whether it's practicing English with a friend or simply sharing moments of your day.
Absolutely, Sophia. The beauty of friendship is that it's a two-way street. And the more we nurture these relationships, the more we learn, grow, and support each other. It's like language, it's a skill you develop over time, and it thrives when you practice it consistently.
That's such a perfect comparison. It's the little, everyday interactions that build our understanding of each other. Just like how regular practice shapes your English skills. It all ties together, doesn't it?
It really does. And just like language, sometimes misunderstandings happen in friendships. But as long as there's trust, respect, and a willingness to learn from each other, those bumps along the way only make the relationship stronger.
So true. All right, listeners, now we've given you a challenge and some food for thought. We hope you'll take the time to connect, reflect, and maybe even share your friendship stories with us on social media. We'd love to hear how you're nurturing your friendships and improving your English along the way.
Definitely. And we'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Keep an eye on our social media pages, and let's continue the conversation there.
Thank you again, Jacob, for all your wisdom today. And thank you to our wonderful listeners for being part of our English learning community. Until next time, keep practicing, keep connecting, and as always, keep growing.
It's been a blast, Sophia. Can't wait for our next episode.
We'll see you soon, everyone. Take care and keep shining. And just before we say goodbye for today, I want to remind everyone about how important it is to enjoy the process of learning. Whether it's English or anything else in life, it's not about being perfect. It's about taking small steps every day.
I couldn't agree more. Progress is progress, no matter how slow it may seem at times. And with each new word or expression you learn, you're not just improving your language skills, you're building connections with the world around you.
Exactly. And those connections, whether through language or shared experiences, are what make life so rich. So, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Laugh at yourself and enjoy the journey. That's the key to both language learning and meaningful friendships.
Well, said Sophia. Sometimes the best way to learn is through those little moments where we're not so focused on perfection, but on the experience itself.
And the more we share with each other, the more we grow. So, thank you for sharing this time with us today. Your journey is just as important as any destination.
Absolutely. Keep learning, keep laughing, and keep being there for the people you care about. You've got this.
We'll be back soon with more episodes. Until then, take care, stay curious, and remember learning is a lifelong adventure.
Take care, everyone. Keep shining. And we can't wait to see you next time.
Bye for now, stay safe and keep growing. And just before we sign off completely, let's leave our listeners with one last thought. Every day offers us a new opportunity to learn and connect. Whether it's through a simple text to a friend, or trying out a new word in English, those small actions can make a big difference in our lives.
Exactly, Sophia. And sometimes those small moments of connection can lead to the biggest changes. You might not even realize how much a small gesture can brighten someone's day or your own.
That's so true, Jacob. A simple, "How are you?" or a thoughtful message can create moments of joy, and that's something we can all contribute to every single day.
It's the little things that matter. And as we continue to learn and grow, let's remember that every word, every conversation, and every friendship has the power to shape our lives for the better.
Well said. So, listeners, we encourage you to continue practicing your English in your everyday conversations, build those meaningful friendships, and embrace the beauty of learning.
Don't forget, we're all on this journey together. And every step, no matter how small, is progress.
So, with that, we'll wrap up today's episode. Thank you for joining us, Jacob, and to all of you listening at home, keep practicing, stay curious, and keep making those connections.
It's been such a pleasure, Sophia. And thank you to everyone who's tuning in. We appreciate you more than you know.
Until next time, friends. Take care, and we'll be back soon with another episode of the English Hour. Keep learning, keep sharing, and most importantly, keep enjoying the journey.
Bye for now, everyone. Keep shining bright.
And before we go, Jacob, let's remind everyone to take a moment for themselves today. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle of daily life. But sometimes we need to slow down and reflect on the things that really matter, like friendships, personal growth, and the joy of learning.
Absolutely, Sophia. We often forget that self-care is just as important as everything else. It's about finding that balance, giving time to the things that bring us peace and fulfillment, while also nurturing the connections that make us feel grounded.
Exactly. It's those little breaks, a conversation with a friend, practicing a new word, or even just taking a deep breath, that help us keep moving forward. So let's all remember to be kind to ourselves too.
Great reminder, Sophia. We can't pour from an empty cup, after all. So let's fill ours with the things that inspire us, help us grow, and bring us joy.
Well said, Jacob. So, to all of our listeners, wherever you are, remember you're doing great. Keep pushing forward, keep practicing, and most importantly, take care of yourself and the relationships that matter most.
You're absolutely right, Sophia. And with that, we'll wrap up another episode. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. It's always a pleasure to spend this time with you.
Until next time, take care of yourselves, stay curious, and keep learning. We'll be back soon with another episode of the English Hour.
Bye for now, and remember, every step you take in your journey of learning is a step worth celebrating.
Take care, and keep shining. Before we officially wrap up, Jacob, I think we could touch on one more thing that might resonate with our listeners. In all of our discussions today, we've talked a lot about connecting with others and learning through conversation. But what about learning in solitude? Do you ever find that some of your best insights come when you're alone with your thoughts?
That's such an important point, Sophia. I do believe that solitude has a powerful way of helping us connect with ourselves. It's in those quiet moments when we're not distracted by others' voices that we can truly hear our own thoughts and reflections.
That's so true. Sometimes, learning in silence allows us to digest what we've experienced and really understand the concepts we've been working on, whether it's language, life lessons, or something deeper.
Exactly. It's like the calm after a storm, everything settles, and you gain clarity. You might not always feel like you're learning in those moments, but that's when your mind is processing everything and making sense of it.
I think that's why reflection is such an important part of learning. Taking the time to pause, even just for a few minutes, to think about what you've learned and how you can apply it. It makes a huge difference in how effectively we absorb and retain information.
And it's important to remember that those quiet moments of learning, just like conversations, don't always need to be big or dramatic. Sometimes it's the smallest, quietest realizations that stick with us the most.
Absolutely. Those quiet moments are often the ones that shape us the most. And as we continue on our journey of learning and self-growth, let's remember that it's okay to take those pauses, to reflect, and to let our minds process everything at their own pace.
So true. Learning is a continuous process, sometimes fast-paced, sometimes slow, and both parts are equally valuable.
I love that thought, Jacob. It's all part of the journey, and it's important to respect each part, whether it's the busy, engaging conversations or the quiet, reflective moments that help us grow.
And no matter where we are in that journey, as long as we're staying curious and open to new ideas, we're headed in the right direction.
Absolutely. So, listeners, wherever you are in your learning journey, whether you're having a lively conversation, reflecting in solitude, or somewhere in between, just know that every step counts.
Every step indeed. And we're grateful to be a part of your journey. We hope today's episode inspires you to keep going, whether you're connecting with others or simply taking a quiet moment to reflect.
We'll be here whenever you need us to continue the conversation, share new ideas, and support you along the way. Keep learning, keep reflecting, and most importantly, keep being kind to yourself.
We'll see you in the next episode, and until then, stay curious and take care of yourselves.
Bye for now, everyone. You know, Jacob, as we're talking about learning in solitude and reflection, I think it's also important to mention how our personal growth sometimes feels invisible. You don't always see the progress right away, but looking back after a while, you realize just how far you've come.
That's such a good point, Sophia. Sometimes when we're in the middle of learning or working on something, it feels like we're stuck or not making any progress. But then we look back and see that we've learned so much, it's almost like a hidden progress.
Exactly. It's like when you're learning a new language. In the beginning, you might feel like you're not improving, but then suddenly, you find yourself understanding a conversation or expressing an idea more easily. That's the magic of progress happening behind the scenes.
And often, it's not until we put ourselves to the test that we realize just how much we've learned. Like when you hear a phrase you once struggled with, and now you can understand it without thinking twice.
That's the best feeling. It's those small victories that build our confidence. But it's easy to overlook them unless we actively pause and reflect on where we started.
Yeah, it's like building muscle. You don't notice the strength growing day by day, but when you look back after a few months, you realize how much stronger you've become. It's the same with skills, whether it's language or any other kind of growth.
So true. And sometimes it's not about measuring how much you've learned, but about appreciating that you're constantly evolving. Growth happens gradually, and the more you embrace it, the more naturally it comes.
Absolutely. And speaking of growth, do you ever feel like sometimes stepping out of your comfort zone is necessary for that kind of progress? Like when we push ourselves to speak in English, even when we make mistakes, that's often when the biggest learning happens.
I couldn't agree more. It's when you take that leap and make yourself uncomfortable that you stretch your limits and find new parts of your potential. Like when you first start having conversations in English. It's a little scary, but that's when you start seeing huge improvements.
It's almost like the discomfort is a sign that you're on the right track. The more uncomfortable you feel, the more you're challenging yourself to grow. And growth doesn't always feel smooth, it's messy, but that's where the magic happens.
Yes, and I think, for some people, that's the hardest part, embracing that messiness and knowing it's a part of the process. But it's important to remember that mistakes are just stepping stones on the way to fluency or mastery in anything.
Right. And every mistake is a learning opportunity. I always tell people, if you're not making mistakes, you're probably not trying hard enough. The real growth comes when you take risks, make mistakes, and then learn from them.
Exactly. And sometimes, it's about laughing at ourselves and enjoying the process. If we're too focused on being perfect, we miss out on the joy of learning. You can learn through fun, experimentation, and even humor.
Oh, absolutely. The joy of learning is just as important as the knowledge itself. When we approach learning with a light heart and curiosity, it becomes less of a task and more of an adventure.
And speaking of adventures, do you think learning new things can open up more opportunities for personal experiences? Like, maybe by learning new languages or skills, we open doors to meeting new people or visiting new places.
100%. Learning not only enriches your mind, but also opens up the world around you. When you can speak a new language, for example, you're suddenly able to connect with people from different cultures. You can travel, work, or even make new friends in places you never thought possible.
I love that idea. Learning really is a bridge to so many new experiences. And it doesn't just apply to languages. It could be anything: a new hobby, a new skill, even a new way of thinking. Each new thing you learn gives you a fresh perspective on life.
And sometimes, those fresh perspectives help us in unexpected ways. You might learn something today that shapes how you approach a challenge tomorrow. It's all connected.
That's such an exciting thought. We're constantly evolving, and every new thing we learn shapes us into the person we'll be tomorrow. Whether it's English, a new skill, or even learning from a difficult situation, it all plays a part in who we become.
And sometimes, the most challenging moments are the ones that teach us the most about ourselves. It's those moments of struggle that help us grow stronger and more resilient.
It's true. The tough times are often the ones we look back on and realize were the turning points. They shape our character and teach us lessons we couldn't learn anywhere else.
Exactly. And I think that's where the real value in learning lies. It's not just about the knowledge itself, but how that knowledge transforms us into better versions of ourselves.
Well said. So, Jacob, what advice would you give someone who's just starting out on their learning journey, whether it's learning English or any other new skill?
I'd say don't be afraid to start small. Celebrate the small wins, and don't expect perfection right away. Be patient with yourself, and most importantly, enjoy the process. Every step forward is progress, no matter how small it seems.
That's such valuable advice. Learning isn't a race, it's a personal journey. And as long as you're taking steps forward, you're exactly where you need to be.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. We all have our strengths and weaknesses, and learning is much easier when we can lean on others for support.
That's right. Support makes all the difference. Whether it's through conversations, resources, or guidance, having people to share the journey with can keep you motivated and inspired.
And don't forget to be kind to yourself. Some days will be harder than others, and that's okay. It's all part of the journey, and every effort counts.
Such a great reminder. It's easy to be hard on ourselves when we don't see immediate results, but the progress is happening even when we don't notice. So, take it one step at a time.
Exactly. And remember, the most important thing is to keep going. Even when it gets tough, just keep pushing forward, and you'll see the results over time.
So, let's leave our listeners with this: embrace the journey, celebrate the small victories, and be kind to yourself along the way. You've got this.
You really do. Keep learning, keep growing, and don't be afraid to take those leaps of faith.
We'll be here every step of the way, cheering you on. Keep up the amazing work, everyone.
And remember, the journey is as important as the destination. Keep pushing forward, and we'll be here when you need us.
All right, listeners, keep the momentum going, and we'll see you in our next episode. Until then, take care and enjoy the learning process. You know, Jacob, as we're talking about growth and the journey, I've been thinking a lot about how learning often requires patience. We can be so eager to see progress, but sometimes it takes time to really feel the difference. How do you stay motivated during those slower periods?
That's a really good question, Sophia. It's true, progress can feel slow sometimes, especially when you're learning something complex. But I think the key is to focus on consistency. Even if you don't see big results right away, as long as you're putting in the effort, you're moving forward. And that's what matters.
I love that idea. It's all about consistency. Even on days when you don't feel like making big strides, if you just do a little bit, it's still progress. It's like putting a small deposit in a bank account. It might not seem like much in the moment, but over time, it adds up.
Exactly. And celebrating those small victories, like understanding a word or phrase you couldn't before, or completing a task you struggled with, helps keep you motivated. When you recognize the little wins, it builds confidence, and you realize that progress is happening all around you, even when it feels slow.
And sometimes, the smallest wins are the most satisfying. Like, I remember the first time I could hold a conversation without stopping to think about every word. That moment felt so rewarding because I knew all the small steps had led to that one big leap.
Oh, definitely. It's those moments where you realize you've crossed a threshold without even realizing it. It's like learning to ride a bike at first. It's hard to keep your balance. But eventually, you're riding without thinking about it, and it feels effortless.
That's such a great analogy. It's the process of building muscle memory. You practice, you fall, you try again, and eventually, you're riding smooth. And the cool part is, when you can do something without thinking too much about it, you get to enjoy it more. Because you can focus on the experience itself, not the mechanics.
Exactly. And the more you practice, the more those moments become part of you. It's not just about the skill, it's about how it becomes second nature, how it flows, and how you can just enjoy the moment without any anxiety or hesitation.
And isn't that what learning is all about? It's about building that confidence so that you can live in the moment, whatever that moment may be. Whether it's speaking a new language, mastering a new skill, or just navigating life with more ease. Learning gives us the freedom to enjoy what's in front of us.
You hit the nail on the head, Sophia. When we can take what we've learned and apply it naturally, we unlock a whole new level of enjoyment and understanding. It's like unlocking new features of a game you've been playing. Everything opens up in a whole new way.
And the beauty of it is, once we've reached a certain point, we can start helping others who are on the same journey. That's where the circle of learning really expands. We learn, we apply, and then we share that knowledge, helping someone else along the way.
Yes, exactly. Learning is not just about personal growth. It's about how we can elevate others through what we've learned. It creates a ripple effect, and that's how knowledge spreads and multiplies.
I love that thought, Jacob. It's like a community effort, where we all help each other grow. And it's also important to remember that everyone's journey is different. Some might be ahead of us, some behind, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that we're all moving forward.
Right? The pace doesn't matter as long as you're moving forward. And we all have something to teach and something to learn. It's a beautiful cycle of growth, and it doesn't stop just because we reach a certain level.
Yes, And every step along the way is an opportunity to connect with others and share experiences. Even the challenging moments teach us something valuable that can be passed on to others.
And sometimes, sharing those struggles is what builds the strongest connections. When we're honest about our challenges and mistakes, others can relate, and it opens the door for mutual growth and encouragement.
Absolutely. It's those raw, vulnerable moments that make us human and create a space where learning becomes even more meaningful. It's not just about mastering something. It's about connecting through the journey.
Exactly, Sophia. And when we connect in that way, we build a community that's supportive, empathetic, and encouraging. That's the kind of environment where learning truly thrives.
Well said. So, for everyone listening, whether you're feeling like you're making fast progress or moving at your own pace, just know that you're not alone. We're all in this together, and every step, no matter how small, is a part of your personal journey.
And remember, sometimes the quiet moments of struggle are the ones that bring the biggest breakthroughs. So don't rush the process. Enjoy the ride, and know that every effort is contributing to something amazing.
Keep going, keep learning, and keep supporting each other. You've got this, and we'll be right here with you, sharing this journey together. You know, Jacob, as we talk about growth and learning, I've been thinking about how sometimes we get so caught up in the end goal that we forget to appreciate the process itself. What do you think about that?
Oh, absolutely. It's easy to focus on the destination, but the real magic happens in the journey. It's in the small moments, the struggles, and the breakthroughs that make the whole experience worth it. It's those moments that shape who we become along the way.
That's such an important perspective. I think we often forget that the process is where we develop resilience, patience, and a deeper understanding of ourselves. If we rush through it all just to reach the end, we might miss out on all those valuable lessons.
Exactly. Sometimes we're so focused on getting to the finish line that we forget to enjoy the ride. But when we take our time and truly embrace each step, we not only learn the skills, but also develop a deeper appreciation for the journey itself.
And those moments where you feel stuck or frustrated, they're actually teaching you something, even if it doesn't feel like it at the time. Those are the moments where growth is happening quietly behind the scenes.
It's like the saying, the struggle is real, but so is the growth. Every time we hit a roadblock, it's a chance to figure out a new solution, to learn something new, and to build our problem-solving muscles.
Yes, and the cool thing is, those challenges become part of our story. They're not just obstacles. They're stepping stones that help us grow in ways we wouldn't have expected. It's like we're building our own personal treasure map, where each challenge leads to a new discovery.
I love that each challenge adds a new layer to our story. And when we look back at those challenges, we realize that they were the things that shaped us into who we are today.
It's kind of like looking at an old photo album. At the time, the moments may have seemed small or difficult, but looking back, they all fit together into a beautiful picture of your journey.
And the best part is that we're all on our own unique journey. No two stories are the same, and that's what makes every experience special. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to growth. Everyone's path looks a little different, and that's okay.
I love that we're embracing the idea of unique paths. It's easy to get caught up in comparing ourselves to others, but the reality is that our experiences are our own. The best thing we can do is focus on our own growth and enjoy the ride, no matter how it looks.
Exactly. Comparison only takes away from our personal journey. The more we focus on our own progress, the more we appreciate how far we've come. And that's something no one else can take away from us, our personal growth.
And that's where true confidence comes from. Right? Not from looking at others, but from realizing how much we've learned and how much we've overcome. Every time we push through a tough moment, we're building a stronger version of ourselves.
That's right. The more we embrace our own journey, the more confident we become in our ability to handle whatever comes our way. Life's full of twists and turns, but with every new skill and lesson, we get better at navigating them.
It's like we're all building a toolkit for life. Every experience, whether it's a success or a struggle, adds a new tool to our kit. And the more tools we have, the more prepared we are for whatever challenges come next.
I love that analogy. We're constantly collecting new tools to face different situations. And sometimes we don't even realize how powerful our toolkit is until we need it.
Exactly. And sometimes, it's the simplest tools that make the biggest difference. It could be as simple as a new way of thinking, a new habit, or a new perspective. Those small shifts can completely change how we handle challenges.
So true. And I think that's one of the beauties of learning. You never know when something you've learned will click into place and help you in an unexpected way. It's like having a secret weapon in your back pocket.
And we don't always know the impact of what we're learning until later, down the line. A skill that might seem small today could end up being the key to solving a major challenge in the future.
That's the exciting part of it. Learning isn't just about acquiring knowledge for the sake of it. It's about preparing ourselves for the unknown. We're building ourselves up for whatever the future holds, even if we don't know what that future looks like yet.
It's all about trust. Trusting the process. Trusting that the knowledge and skills we're acquiring now will serve us in ways we can't yet imagine. And even when things don't make sense, we have to keep believing that it's all leading somewhere important.
Exactly. Every little step forward is part of the bigger picture. And even if we can't see the whole picture yet, we trust that it's being painted one brushstroke at a time.
Well said, Jacob. And for all of you listening, remember that your journey is uniquely yours. It's not about comparing yourself to others, it's about embracing every step of the way, no matter how big or small. Every challenge, every success, it all matters.
That's right. Embrace your journey, trust the process, and know that you're exactly where you need to be. Keep learning, keep growing, and remember you've got this.
Keep moving forward. And we'll be right here with you every step of the way. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll catch you in the next episode.